Hi, everyone. I'm Munira. I live in Kuwait. It's a country in Southwest Asia. My mother never showed me her face, and it's not about the covered head. I mean, the fact that women have to wear a hijab, but that's not the point. It's the fact that my mother is a very intelligent woman, and my sister told me that she worked in the Secret Service. My mother was of high intelligence and the ability to think critically, so she achieved a lot and got a job in a prestigious career. My sister, Fatima, is also smart. She works in the Information and Marketing Department at the Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research. They pay well, so she and I never need anything. Except for one thing. Sometimes I miss them both a lot. Because of my mother's great confidentiality at work, we couldn't even call each other. All we had was correspondence. Mom couldn't take pictures or videos. We just chatted. That was the norm for me until I was all grown up. Well, there was also a strong influence from my environment. That is, my classmates. At my new private school, they used to tease me, Mom Messenger. It was frustrating. In the evening, I complained to my sister, but Fati asked me to ignore them all. You know that Mom loves you a lot, and it's good for us not to see her yet and not to know where she is. I understand all that, but have you seen her? Yes, of course I have. She didn't always work there, and I saw your birth. Do you have a picture? Any pictures at all? Munira, we've talked about this many times. I don't have any. Mom took great care to hide as many facts about herself as possible, but the day will come when you'll see her. When? I don't know. Someday. Are you hungry? Are you ready to have dinner? When my sister didn't want to continue a conversation, she offered to eat. I declined and, frustrated, went to my room, picked up my phone, and texted my mom. Hi, how are you? She understood me very well. I have a great relationship with my sister too, but my mom could so sense my mood, even if I just texted hi. It made me happy and made me believe that our connection was alive and still strong. Mom, when are you coming home? I don't know yet. I have to work, but I'm mentally with you every day. Are you sad today? Did something happen? No, I'm fine. I just miss you. Your sister's there for me. You can trust her. I know, she's nice, but I'd like to see you at least once. I'll see you, my darling daughter. I'll see you. I have to go. Forgive me. I love you 100,000 times. Fatima came into the room, sat down on the bed, and brought me some nuts to chew on before bedtime. She knew I loved them. I asked my sister which one of us looked more like my mother, and she immediately said, I did. Fati touched my face with her finger and said, You have the same beautiful eyes, forehead, and nose. Although, no, you're prettier than her. Much prettier. I smiled, said goodnight, and went to sleep. Things remained tense at school because of the bullying from my classmates. And even my sister's former classmate, Saeed's teacher, used to tease me sometimes. Fati asked her to look after me after my school enrollment. At first, everything was fine. But after Saeed's fiancé proposed to my sister, she started grinding a grudge against her. And me too. Even though my sister didn't date that man for even a minute, she shaved it all off. But does it matter in front of a jealous woman? I was late that day because I overslept and decided to check the schedule in the teacher's lounge. It was empty. No one but Saeed's teacher. I noticed her faking the English test results from the day before yesterday for my classmate, a guy from an obscenely rich family. I wanted to run away, but she caught my arm. You tell anyone, you're dead, she said. I ran out to the bathroom, not knowing what to do. If I told Fatima, there would be a fight. They don't get along as it is. Who should I ask for advice then? Right, I'll write to Mom. I couldn't decide the right thing to do, so I asked her for advice. But she didn't answer the message. Then I just went to class, deciding to keep everything a secret. A couple of hours later, when I walked out of class on my teacher's orders, I was fished out by Saeed and pinned against the wall in the bathroom. I told you, you'd regret it. I was so scared. I swore I hadn't told anyone anything, that I wasn't guilty. But the teacher looked extremely angry. Already in the next class, she gave me an oral exam and flunked me out of there. I came home in tears, feeling unjust and resentful. Fatima met me on the doorstep. I didn't even have time to say a word when she hugged me tightly. You look very upset. Is something wrong? I wasn't treated fairly. I don't deserve this. I will go to Saida and deal with it. I promise it won't stay this way. Who is she to threaten you? Have you talked to her? Not yet, but I will now. She grabbed her bag, and I stopped her. Wait, Fatima, how do you know it was her? I only corresponded about it with my mom. My mom texted me. She asked me to take care of you. Oh, okay. By the way, the neighbor said that people came to our house to ask for alms. If someone else comes tomorrow, just don't open the door. It's your day off from school, and I have to go to work for an hour. We made a deal. My sister left and I went to bed. In the morning, indeed, someone very long broke into the house. I didn't want to open for them, but I overpowered myself, found some money in my bag, and opened the door. Behind the door was a strange woman. She did not look poor. Hello, who are you looking for? Hello, you must be Munira? Yes. Where's Fatima? She said yesterday that you wouldn't be home, but I see you're here. And who are you? What do you want? I know it's been a long time, and I've only managed to come to see you now. I'm your aunt, Nabil, your mother's sister. What? Mom has a sister? Yes, didn't she tell you? Let's wait for her. She'll probably be here soon. I came from Central Asia a couple of days ago. I barely made it. I couldn't get away from work. The woman came into the house and put down her suitcase and her bags. I walked around her and wondered if she was a fraud or not. You look just like my sister. What sister? Do you have a sister? That's strange. Fatima didn't say anything to me. She hasn't had any contact with me or any of my other relatives since you were born. We were good too, of course, judging her. But it's been so many years. It's time to let it go. Family is family, right? I'm sorry. What did you say? My mother's name is not Fatima. You must be mistaken. You must be mistaken. Here's a picture of her. The woman showed me a picture of my sister, and I didn't understand what was going on. Then Fatima came into the house, and without saying hello, tried to send the woman away. I stopped them and demanded an explanation. My sister started to argue with her that she'd ruined everything, that no one had called her, that we'd been living together for so many years, and that we didn't need anyone. What are you talking about? You're my sister. Mother's far away. She hasn't come home yet. Have you been saying all this time that you are her sister? Fatima put her head down and, covering her face with her hands, sat down on the sofa. She cried bitterly and began to apologize to me. I should have told you, Munira, but I couldn't. I was afraid it would hurt you, my sister shouted, and I couldn't believe it. It turned out that my sister had given birth to me as an illegitimate child. She could have been imprisoned for that, and it just so happened that her mother, that is, my grandmother, at the moment Fatima gave birth to me, ran away and abandoned her. And Fati invented the myth that it was my grandmother who gave birth to me, that she supposedly raised me. Of course, I had to involve a lot of connections so that the story would get as little publicity as possible. For this reason, we often moved from city to city and lived only in densely populated areas. Of course, after I found out about it, I was very angry with her. I didn't talk to her and cried. It's hard to accept the fact that you were cheated your whole damn life. But after calming down a bit, I reached a Zen state. At the end of the day, whether she was my sister or my mother, there are things she never did. She never went against me. She was always there for me, listening, being there for me, and just loving me. Our crazy aunt, that is, my aunt, lived for a couple of days with us, and then we moved out of town again so we wouldn't see Saida and the school. I was fine with that decision, and in the new town, in a new place, we were no longer sisters, but like mother and daughter. And that's pretty cool. Do you have a sister who looks a lot like your mom? Put a plus sign in the comments, and let's see how many of us there are. Tell me guys, did you like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Don't forget to like it, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.